The member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Speaker. In adjourning the House tonight, I want to take the opportunity to speak about the importance of and drawing attention to the problems of cultural genocide. In my former capacity as Australia's Human Rights Commissioner, I was honoured to speak to the 100th anniversary of the Armenian Genocide at Sydney Town Hall. At the commemoration, we paid recognition, of course, to the lives that were lost. But it was also an important occasion to remind people that the toll was not just human, it was also cultural. There was a deliberate attempt by some to not just remove Armenians, but also their memory, by destroying evidence of Armenian heritage and culture, such as artworks and architecture. In short, there was not just a human genocide, there was also a cultural genocide. The official Armenian Genocide Centennial website tells the stories of the cultural genocide to wipe the memory of Armenian people from the Ottoman Empire by, quote, purposefully massacring Armenian clergymen. They destroyed churches, monasteries and other properties of church, including thousands of medieval handwritten manuscripts. Further, to quote, an Arab witness to the Armenian genocide, Fayez al-Qassim, writes in his memoirs that after the massacres of the Armenians, the government established committees that were engaged in selling the abandoned property. Armenian cultural values were sold at the cheapest prices. I once went to the church to see how these sales of these things were organised. The doors of the Armenian schools were closed. The Turks used science books in the bazaar for wrapping cheese, dates and sunflowers." End quote. The Ottoman Empire's aim was to erase the lives and memories of the Armenian people, and all members should be committed to ensuring such events never happen again. And of course, having a quarter Armenian heritage myself, this is a subject matter of which I take significant interest. And the best way, of course, that we can stop any efforts to repeat cultural genocide is also to stand up and to call out similar attempts that occur in the world today. And that's where it brings me to the wonderful electorate of Goldstein, which is blessed with a very large Jewish community. And I have to say I'm deeply honoured to represent them and stand up in defence of their culture, their faith and their freedom. Which is why I want to condemn the resolution from last October by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organisation titled Occupied Palestine, that sought to deny the historical links between the Jewish people and the Temple Mount. I agree with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who said at that time, to quote, to say that Israel has no connection to the Temple and the Western Wall is like saying that China is not connected to the Great Wall of China, or that Egypt has no connection to the pyramids. I believe that historical truth is more powerful and that truth will ultimately prevail." End quote. Speaker, Prime Minister Netanyahu is clearly right. The truth will prevail, as it always does. But we should not turn a blind eye to the intent of this resolution. This shameful resolution, of course, doesn't sit in isolation. It sits amongst a string of resolutions from UN bodies that frequently seek to condemn Israel and its human rights record in defence of its legitimate right to exist, while turning a blind eye to the horrific human rights records of many other countries and often against those records against their own people. It's quite clear to me that while some people and countries are intent on denying the Jewish people of their homeland, and they are, sadly and tragically, they are also determined through resolutions such as those that went through UNESCO in October last year to commit a form of cultural genocide as well. And I would hope that all members would do the honest, the decent and honourable thing and call out such behaviour as required, because we know the enduring connection the Jewish people have to the Temple Mount and the Western Wall. We know of their enduring connection, obviously, to the land that is Israel, and we should be standing tall and proud in their defence. Thank you, Speaker.